Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crazy Dreamer Network. My name is AJ and let's hop right into today's reading. So today's reading is a pick a card on messages from the autumnal autumnal equinox and what you need to hear right now. Okay, so messages from the autumnal equinox and what you need to hear right now. We have four piles. Pile number one, pile number two, pile number three, and pile number four. Pile number one, we have the pinolith crystal. Pile number two, we have the rose quartz crystal. Pile number three, we have the numite crystal. And pile number four, we have the amethyst crystal. Okay. So pile number one, pile number two, pile number three, and pile number four. I love you all so much, my dreaming dreamers, and I will see you in your reading. Bye. Hey pile ones, welcome back to your reading. So you all chose this pinolith crystal, okay, which means, and I'm reading this from a paper that I got when I bought this crystal. It says, a gentle stone of optimism and peace improves self-esteem and equilibrium between emotions and the intellect, promotes deep love for self and others, calms anxiety, and improves clarity of the mind. So what I'm getting immediately from this crystal selection that the autumn equinox is bringing into your lives, pile number ones, or the messages that they want you to hear right now, that it wants you to hear right now, is I feel like you're moving away from almost like idle thought, which is bringing in a lot of anxiety or a lot of like overthinking or questioning yourself. And that has made you feel in this state of like calamity or in this state, it's just made you feel really intense emotions, right? That maybe aren't attributing to your well-being, but it seems like maybe your well-being has been compromised with these thoughts. The autumn equinox is bringing in a lot of peace and a lot of inner resolve that you've been asking for, okay? So you might have been asking God, spirit, source, energy, your higher self, angels, you name it, to assist you in this time. And, you know, the autumn equinox, we just passed the Pisces full moon, and it was a harvest moon at that. So I feel like maybe you all have felt already a lift in that energy from those asks, but you're going to feel it even more. There's going to be an emphasis placed on uplifting your spirits is what I'm getting, okay? But I digress. Let's move forward towards your pile selection card. So we have I am forgiving, okay? This has been coming up a lot in these readings, and I'm sure just in general with the collective, right? So what I'm getting is like, I don't know if this person, to me, it's like this person is looking at their hand knowing they're different. And it's almost like they mourn for their differences, but now they're just accepting it. And it's now they're accepting themselves and forgiving themselves for maybe thoughts of not such great thoughts about their differences, about their uniqueness, right? Also, what I'm getting is that they're also forgiving the messages other people have sent to them as it pertains to these unique attributes that this figure has in this card. So I'm just getting there is a lot of purging going on right now, and there's a lot of introspection as it pertains to forgiving oneself and forgiving others as well, to be able to move forward in life and to have lightness in their heart and in y'all's heart and in our hearts, and yeah, just kind of enjoy life and not have the burden of self-depreciation or self-condemnation, okay? So let's proceed with the reading. We have at the bottom of the deck, card number 18, the Moon. This is literally one of my favorite cards in this deck. The Herb Crafter's Tarot is such a beautiful deck. And I don't know why, I just love this card. The simplicity, the darkness of the background in contrast to these blooming buds that's around this like crystal, beautiful crystal container. It's just gorgeous, right? So the herb here, or the flower here, is datura, okay? And what I'm getting is that there is beauty in the darkness, right? There is beauty in the shadowy aspects of our personality. And it's up to us to not only see that, but acknowledge it and to integrate it, right? You see how they're integrating the lightness and the darkness, and how beautiful it all looks together once it's come into contact with one another. Any other color, I don't think it could really bring out the luminous nature that this figure is really kind of showing to us. And to me, I don't know why. I maybe it's because I'm seeing it in person, but this card is just so gorgeous, and it's so simple too. It's not a lot going on here, right? So that's what I'm getting. Also, this autumn equinox could be bringing in a lot of downloads, especially as it pertains to the moon cycles. You all could be more intuitive at this time. You all could be having this intuitive nudge to do something, to trust in your intuition, to trust in what's being revealed to you at this time. And it might be that you don't know what's really going on, right? You don't know. Maybe you've been trying to be more in tune with your intuition, and it's just eluding you. But what I'm getting is that there are certain aspects to things that are still unraveling that just haven't been shown, or just haven't been brought to the light yet. But, only time will tell. So just keep on living, keep on pressing forward, because that's just the best course of action, pile number ones. But I digress. I'm going to do the Celtic Cross layout spread. So let's start with the first card in the You Now Heart of the Matter position, which is a 3 of water, and we have lemon balm. So I feel like right now, your heart, or you want to celebrate. You want there to be a lightness. Like I said, I keep suggesting this lightness, this light air of life and of responsibilities, right? It's funny because I get childhood memories here, but I'm not getting like you want to go back to childhood. I'm not getting that, right? What I'm getting is that it's almost like you want to do things and celebrate in ways that you have not before. Because I feel like the ways in which you used to celebrate, maybe victories or wins that happened in your life, is just not a part of who you are anymore, right? With this 3 of water lemon balm. Now, the 3 of water is the 3 of cups in the Rider-Waite Tarot, and it usually signifies like a group of friends, right? A group of friends going to celebrate, partying, having a good time, abundance, right? And just being with like-minded individuals who, like your company, you like theirs, and you all are just enjoying your lives. You're having a good time celebrating with one another. Now, at the bottom of this card is the Tower, which is mushrooms, which is also like stark difference. We have all these bright, bubbly colors, a lot of like a tea party going on right here. And then now we're in the depths of the wilderness. We're in the depths of the wood, and it's all about neutrality. It's all about earth tones, right? And with the mushrooms here, we can tell something is dead and gone. Something has decayed because the mushrooms are growing in its place, and that's how mushrooms grow, with decaying, matter, or, things of that nature. And mushrooms grow in poop, right? And boo-boo. So that is also, it's a stark difference, right? So long story short, I'm getting that you're finally accepting that like what once was is no longer. Maybe you aren't connecting with people the way you used to, right? Maybe things just aren't the way they used to be, right? And I feel like you're just coming into this acceptance stage. And it's almost like the stages of mourning, right? First you mourn the loss, then you're in denial, and then, step by step, and then you finally get to this acceptance. And I feel like that's what's happening right now. And that's what this autumn equinox is bringing you into. And usually when we start to accept things, then it like switches and we're able to change the things that we're accepting within our capacity to change them, right? So that usually goes along with changing ourselves or changing our perspective, the way we look at a certain situation. So in the blockage / challenge position, we have the Ace of Cups, which is plantain, right? So in the blockage / challenge positions with the Ace of Cups, pile number 1. Sorry, let me open this window so you guys can see these cards because they're so pretty. So again, in the blockage / challenge position, we have the Ace of Cups and plantain. So a lot of y'all could have this lack of peace, internal peace, or internal acceptance of maybe a love connection, or maybe even the challenge is what I'm getting with the 3 of water and the Ace of water. It's an emotional one, right? And it could be tied to the love or of camaraderie, right? Maybe a certain love or affection that you used to feel for certain friends in your life or a certain family member in your life, and realizing that that's gone, it's over with. You have to pick up the pieces and move forward. So with the challenge of that, with the Ace of water, maybe someone you derived love from, right? Someone you derived this sense of self from even, right? They're no longer there. And maybe you're left picking up the pieces and really didn't even understand how much you were, I don't want to say lacking self-love, but lacking self-assurance is what I'm getting. Like this self-stability that maybe you even got from another person and didn't even realize it until they were gone. And now with this acceptance stage, you're just finding out, okay, I gotta do something different here, because what I was tying my identity to is no longer here. So now I have 1 or 2 choices. I could crumble, I could just come to pieces, or I can acknowledge that, accept it, and then move forward in my thought patterns and move forward in a different paradigm and create myself anew, or stabilize what I can, find meaning in myself, right? In my self-love journey and with the other people that I have in my life, fans, friends, family, you name it, right? Coworkers. I'm not over because, fill in the blanks. This relationship is over, or this job is over. Whatever you tied your identity to and your self-worth to and your self-value to, pile number 1s, you're not over because of that. And I feel like you're realizing that. I always say the 3 of Cups. It reminds me of that SZA song. Is it Drew Barrymore? Why is it so hard to accept the party is over? And that's what I'm getting. Like, but you're accepting it now, and now you can regroup and change in the process, blossom in the process, expand in the process, right? So in the conscious goal is the 8 of Cups, right? This totally makes sense. I feel like you want to find that peace. You want to get this deep sleep, And I say deep sleep because you could tell this person is in bed, or they're about to get in bed, and they have this tea on their nightstand, and they've opened the window, and they're like setting a whole mood to release, right? To get these good release happening in their spirit, in their body, almost like this meditative state, right? They might meditate on this cup of tea, right? By drinking it slowly and being very present in the moment while they're drinking it. And then we have the 8 of water being valerian root. There is a lot of emotions here tied in the first 3 cards, right? And the first card is usually the most powerful card that comes out, right? There's a lot of emotions tied here with what you're letting go of, okay? And again, with Eight of Water Valerian, Valerian is a root to help. It's like a natural sleeping aid, right? So it's interesting here because we have a full moon in this horizon that's like, even the brightness of the moon is like echoing off the ripples of the sea here, the water, and then we have the moon right here. So I feel like this new moon that's coming in, ask spirit, ask God, ask, whatever you call the creator that you believe in, ask for more self-acceptance, ask for more self-love. It can't hurt, right? Ask to, and I know obviously the full moons are for releasing and the new moons are for, setting our intentions, maybe even for the next moon cycle or what we want to accomplish during that time, right? But use this as a way to affirm, right? To set those intentions on, okay, leaving behind, and it could be a quiet leaving behind where you've been, and like setting clear, impactful intentions on your life, and even praying for those who you've left behind or who have left you behind or who you want to leave behind or what you want to leave behind, right? Take what resonates and, insert your storyline where it belongs. But in the conscious decision, pile number ones, y'all are just leaving what no longer serves behind. And I think that's a good thing, whether that be people, whether that be situations, whether that be jobs, you name it. And I feel like you're also giving yourself the time and the space to heal from this and to recoup, okay? And simultaneously creating these intentions, okay? So in the unknown influence, we have the Eight of Fire. So there could have been a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions, even fiery ones sent your way without you knowing it, okay? Also, things could have been happening so rapidly in your life that you really didn't even have the time to, how can I put it? You didn't even really have the time to digest the things that were going on, maybe just until recently. And then you started to feel really heavy or weighted emotions when you actually got a lot of time or got time to yourself to actually think about the things that were happening in your life or had happened in the past, right? So maybe now that you are just now coming to terms and to grips with what's going on because you've let the dust settle, you've allowed for some time to move forward, and now you're finally like, oh, okay, well, this is why this is happening. You're finally being able to digest and to reckon what has happened, what has went on. I feel like in the past influence position, I feel like you didn't even realize that a lot of energy had been directed your way, or you were giving a lot of energy to a situation from the past, right? And that's probably what led you to maybe feeling lowered vibrations, right? Because you're placing too much emphasis or were placing too much emphasis on the past, or maybe you were open, right? Because while you were placing too much emphasis of the past, someone else was too, and it just compounded those feelings within you, right? So, these were unknown. This was the unknown influence position. Excuse me. So, past influence is the Six of Fire, which is a victory, right? Also, in the past, I feel like you've had some wins. Right? And you've maybe accomplished certain manifestations that you had always wanted to. Maybe you took some time for yourself, and like, although you were maybe not in the best of spirits, things were still manifesting for you, and you had some wins. And I feel like in the past influence position with these wins, they could have been at work. They could have been something you were working very hard for, especially with the curandera of earth, which is sweetgrass, right? Something you created, right? Because this curandera of earth with sweetgrass, they're braiding sweetgrass and they're probably selling it, So you could have created something and it went real well, and you experienced wins in that. However, I feel like the wins maybe felt a little less impactful because who you felt was missing or what you felt was missing, right? You couldn't really celebrate this win in the past that happened to the fullest because maybe you wanted to celebrate it with someone else, right? So I feel like this autumn equinox message to you is really to leave things in the past, because once you do, you're going to start to see this rapid shift within you, okay, within you, and then it'll even probably be an external shift that you're seeing too. That's going to allow you to kind of move through life a little bit more gracefully and a little bit more peacefully, and to raise your standards and to raise your self-esteem, as the Pinolith crystal description would suggest, okay? So the approaching influence, we have the Tower, mushroom. Things are changing and rearranging, and you're rebuilding, okay? Pile number ones, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with rebuilding from the ground up from what was once built on faulty foundation, because the foundation that you're building is magnificent. And also with this mushroom tower and this 3 of water, something could be coming up that you're not even realizing, that's really going to allow you to celebrate your life again. That's really going to allow you to celebrate yourself again, okay? So in your inner resource or talent position, we have the 4 of fire, elder. You're very stable right now, whether you know this or not. And I feel like, again, with the 3 of cups and the 4 of fire, these are both celebratory energies. You could be seeing 1111 a lot lately, but I feel like there is a portal being opened up for you, pile number ones. And I love this card because this card, even just everything that's going on in this card, it's like a celebration. There's a lot of color. There's a lot of fire energy here. There's a lot of spice. There is just good feelings, right, coming from this card. And with the elderberry as the herb, I feel like you're going to start feeling a lot better about yourself and about what's happening in your life, okay? Like the pieces to the puzzle are now coming together, and that self-assurance and that reassurance that you need is actually starting to come from within, okay? So it says how others see you. We have the Adelita of air, which I believe is the Knight of air, and we have oregano. So I feel like people feel like you're being purified right now. This is a depiction of someone who is creating this yoni steam. And I feel like as it pertains to the herb oregano, I feel like with the Adelita of air and the meaning of the Knight of air, the Knight of swords, is that people see that you're kind of taking off in whatever it is that you're building, right? And I feel like people who have left your life or who were once there, they could probably see this too. They could see that you're taking off right now and that you're purifying yourself. You might be taking some time for yourself right now before things start to pop off or start to rapidly change in your life for the better, pile number ones, okay? So hopes and fears, we have the Madre of fire, which is the Queen of fire with time, okay? So this is interesting. So we have a person who is grinding in a mortar and pestle. They're making potions, brews for other people, right? And they're using time to do it. I'm not super familiar with the herb thyme and what that means, but it just seems like your hopes is to look good getting things done, right? You want to look good, you want to feel good, you want to have energy, you want to have vitality, you want to have a lot of life, right? You could be taking potions or brews. It's funny, it says brews. My brew of choice is cold brew. It is. I love coffee. Like, I know it's not the best, I guess, for your frequencies or your vibrations, but I love it. I don't know why. I feel like I'm a coffee connoisseur of sorts, right? So I like good artisanal coffees, and that's my bruise of choice, right? That gets me feeling like the Queen of Wands. That gets me feeling like I can do anything, I can have anything, right? So with time and hopes and fears, I feel like you want to feel this vivacity, right? You want to feel just like you could conquer the world, and yet you might be a little fearful of how it's almost like you want to do it in a different way. You don't want to be intimidating. You know how like on Pinterest and stuff, there's these affirmations and it's like, well, I don't want to intimidate people. I don't want to come across as a B word, or I don't want to come across in a way that might keep people away from me, but I do want to hone my best self, right? I don't want to dim my light, but I don't want other people to feel that their light is dim by being next to me. I don't want that at all. So I feel like that's the conundrum you feel like you're in, where yes, you want to do amazing work. You want to feel sexy. You want to feel accomplished. You want to feel loved, admired, but also you don't want your loved ones, especially the loved ones who are in your life now, to feel like they're anything less than gorgeous, beautiful, accomplished, magnanimous in your presence, You hope that by letting your light shine, that you allow other people permission to do the same. But I feel like in the fears portion of this card, you don't want to come across a certain way. And maybe you're learning how to balance that. Maybe you've just learned that, hey, when you let your light shine, it doesn't take anything away from anybody. And maybe that was a learned behavior, right, that you're now coming out of. So in the outcome position is the curandera of earth with sweetgrass, which is beautiful. There seems to be a victory. You seem to be maybe finding a lot of beauty in your work and in your craft, and refining your craft and refining your gifts, right? I feel like you could be wising up and really mastering this material plane, using your craft to do that, right? Using your gifts to allot you a certain lifestyle, okay? With this curandera of earth, sweetgrass. So let's pull some more cards, pile number ones. I do want to pull the Black Moon Astrology card deck for today's reading. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck. Tell us more. What does this autumn equinox want pile number one to hear right now? Messages from the autumn equinox and what it wants pile number one to hear right now, Spirit. Messages from the autumn equinox and what it wants pile number one to hear right now, Spirit. Okay, I'm going to take the jumping cards. Clear, concise, accurate messages from pile number one and what it wants from, for pile number one from the autumn equinox and what it wants pile number one to hear right now. So we have card number two, Moon Soul. I feel like there is this illusion happening within you right now that's about to be revealed. You could be very in touch with the moon cycles or just very in tune with your intuition, pile number ones, but it's almost like you're doubting it. You're doubting it. You could be going through this shadow work period, right? That you're working on your shadow aspects in order to integrate them with card number two, Moon Soul. It's almost like you're trying to figure out what is helping your spirit, what will help your spirit, what will help your soul, right? You could be manifesting things during the moon cycle as well. Tell us more, Spirit. Messages from the autumn equinox for pile number, okay, so, sorry, 2 cards fell out face forward. Oh, 3 cards, JK. So let me fix this. So we have card number 31, 7th house partners. Okay. We have card number 28, 4th house roots. And we have card number 21, Sagittarius IC. Interesting. So this could have something to do with a divine pairing or a partnership that you could be in or you could be thinking about, right? And look, we have card number 23, Aquarius, I know. So we have Aquarius, I see, and Aquarius, I know. So I feel like you know something. You know something that maybe is trying to be hidden from a partnership or alliance, and you don't know why you know it or how you know it. You're experiencing claircognizance. I just released why you're seeing angel numbers, and the number 1010 is coming out to me right now. So you might want to go, for those of you who have not looked at that reading, go check it out, because I feel as if you have this deep knowing about something, whether it is you're meant to be with someone or your angels, ancestors, and guides are trying to have you. It's something to do with roots. It's so funny. It's trying to signal you about something from the past, about like setting roots with someone or something, right? And it's like, like you almost know, like, okay, maybe this is something I'm supposed to do, and you see it, but it's almost like maybe you're a little hesitant with card number 2, Moon, Soul. Like maybe you're just, something's eluding you, pile number 1s. It's almost like very mysterious what's happening here. I want to read a little bit of the Moon card because it came out twice. So I feel like there's something, I don't want to say being hidden, but there's something that you can't see clearly. Yeah, ooh, this is already reading us. Number 1, it says card number 2, Moon, Soul. It says all things must come to the soul from its roots. I am done. I am done. I'm done. Oh my God. Oh my God. So it's funny because I'm using Herb Crafter's Tarot, and it's about like roots, like plants. So it says all things must come to the soul from its roots where it's planted. Saint Teresa of Avila. It says, what does your gut say? The Moon asks. This card is all about mystery, feelings, and hidden messages. It says the Moon is receptive. It governs intuition and self-protection. Its placement by sign and house indicates those areas to which we are the most emotional or sensitive. What did I say? The first 3 cards are water. You know what I'm saying? The first 3 cards are water. So it says the Moon represents what is felt instinctively and what is at the core of our emotions. It says, it says in the astrological chart, the Moon is our soul. It shows the intimate side of who we are. The Moon represents security, the home we grew up in, and the need to hide away and recoup our energies. Wow. It says it is the female principle that is darkly moist and yielding. So the Moon can signify our relationships with our mothers as well as pregnancies. Look, and then there's a baby in this tree. So it said it also signifies our grandmothers and even old age. So geriatric issues can arise when this card turns up. Crowds belong to the Moon, but also shyness, reticence, and things that occur in the darkness. The Moon shows how we respond emotionally and what we feel most deeply. It says some believe the Moon represents who we are in secret and also memories from who we were in past lives. And we have the 4th house roots, which talks about the past, right? So there could be things like emotions that this autumn equinox are bringing up from the past once and for all. We're also in a retrograde, y'all. So there could be things that this equinox is bringing up from the past that allows you to forgive yourself and to forgive others, and it's bringing them up once and for all so you can just release them. I have a feeling it has something to do with friendships and like partnerships. I'm not really getting love, like romance. I'm getting like friendships from the past, like tight knit, like people you've grown up with, maybe even siblings, like that's how tight you are. With card number 31, 7th house partners, I know there's a new Moon in Libra coming up like right after September 22nd, which is the autumn equinox. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of emphasis on what's happening, right? But how your reading ends is very beautiful. Like it's almost like luck, blessings are on your side, pile number one, as it pertains to this autumn equinox, because I feel like the things that are coming up for you really need to come up at this time so you can finally release them. And it really doesn't matter when you release them. You know, we can release them during the full moon or the new moon. It doesn't matter. They're just like directives like that you can take. You know what I'm saying? It's not an all or nothing type thing. If it's not the full moon, it's not like, oh, I can't ever release anything. No, you could choose to release it right now in this moment if you want to, right? So let's see. It says when this card comes up in a reading, all is not as it seems because something is being obscured. You may feel like you have lost your direction or that you don't have all of the information to go forward. There is much you are sensing, but you may be hesitant to act. It may look as if it is difficult to cut through the fog to get to the real truth of any situations. That's interesting because I feel like a lot of people are going through this right now. It's like this brain fog, this fog that it's like, what is happening, you know? And, but I feel like, look, it says soul and then Sagittarius, I see. You're about to start seeing things for what they are in a very good way. Especially at the bottom of the deck, we have Aquarius, I know. And it's something you knew, but it's about to be revealed to you. Okay, and it could have something to do with a past relationship. It could have something to do with a romantic partnership. Don't get me wrong. It could definitely have something to do with that. Maybe childbirth too, or laying down roots. Okay, fourth house, most certainly. Very, very interesting. Ooh, child, this is very interesting. I kind of want to pull more cards. Ugh, this is a long reading. I'm nosy. So let's pull some Moonology cards because let's see. Let's just pull some Moonology. Last information before we end pile number one's reading, Spirit. Any last words? Any last words, guidance, advice that you want to give to our pile number one, Spirit, to conclude their reading? In regards to the autumn equinox, what do they need to know now? What does pile number one need to know now during this autumn equinox? Pertaining to this autumn equinox. It says, show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius, okay? Some of you all might have Venus in Aquarius or might have like a lot of Aquarius in your chart, okay? And I feel like you're just, okay, so this card flipped up. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. What did I say? You hear that? In the background? I don't know what's going on. They're probably working on something. Sorry, I live downtown. I live in the city, so you gotta excuse all the background noise that comes up during the reading. Yeah, y'all. So I feel like there's gonna be a whole new life transition towards it, towards this autumn equinox, and it's gonna be a good one. It's like about time. It's something that you've wanted or didn't even know you wanted, right? Because you're going to start being your authentic self. And I feel like for those of you who are in relationships, your relationship is going to turn for the better. And those of you who are not yet in relationships, you probably will find yourself in one that is just really liberating, that really helps you in some way, shape, or form, okay? So let's see. One more card, Spirit. Advice, guidance, and wisdom. Look, step out of your comfort zone. North Node. This is about your life path and your life journey as well, pile number ones. Look at this. Bottom of the deck, full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. So whatever is happening, it's happening for the best, right? These are really good cards of advice and guidance right now. Show the world the real you. So there's this authenticity that's coming out of you during this autumn equinox, and it could pertain to this new moon in Libra. You know, in regards to partnerships, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The seventh house, I believe, it rules Libra, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all, please correct me in the comment section. But I feel like this could have something to do with your partnership, that you might be taking to a whole new level, and it might be happening kind of quickly, right? And you're leaving behind these old notions that, like, you know, maybe in the past you had wanted something. Yeah, pile number ones, you didn't want something, but now you're changing your mind about, right? But something is being brought to the surface about where you're supposed to go, especially with North Node. But I want to read a little bit of North Node, and then we got to end this reading because it's getting long. So it says, step out your comfort zone. Oh my goodness. This is so it says, step out of your comfort zone, North Node. There's a strong feeling when you get this card that it's time to leave the past behind somehow. Ooh, child. It says, because you are headed in the right direction. Exactly. It says, if you want to be happy and fulfilled, you need to get going towards doing the thing that scares you within reason. It says, this card is all about living your life purpose, which is possibly what you've asked about. It's urging you to dare to do something different with your life and your direction, to take action. So are you willing to follow through and lead the life you incarnated to live? If you finally find the courage to make the leap, there's a good chance you'll come to ask yourself, why did I wait so long? Ooh, child. It says, attuned to the moon. I know I'm headed in the right direction. Additional meanings for this card. You're headed for something which feels like destiny. You need to face the fear and get over it. Time to stop obsessing about someone or something. Stand on your own 2 feet. You've got this. So this is good, pile number ones. Like, y'all are finally, once and for all, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, leaving the crap that no longer serves you in the past, and you're really on the right direction. You really are here. Okay, and that's the messages that the autumn equinox, wants you to hear right now. They want you to feel this sigh of relief, like, oh, thank the Lord, or thank whomever, okay, whatever. All right, so with that being said, pile number ones, I love you all so much. So sorry, I know this was a longer reading than usual, but yes, if you like this reading, if it resonated with you, please give this reading a big thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends, or anyone who would best benefit from the messages provided here today. Again, my dreamers, I love you so much. Good job. Keep on keeping on. Keep going on the right direction, okay? Y'all got this. So with that being said, I love you, dreamers, and until next time, I'll see you in our next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number twos, welcome back to your reading. So you all chose this rose quartz crystal, okay? So what I'm getting off bat, messages from the autumn equinox that you need to hear right now is it's a lot pertaining to internal love, self-love, self-devotion, and not only self-love and devotion, but the love and the devotion that you give to yourself emanating to others, right? Almost causing this magnetism to you in regards to the people that you start now from this point in your self-love journey to attract in your life, right? More like-minded individuals, people who subscribe to the same ideologies as you. Not everyone is going to subscribe to the same ideologies as you, but the people who you'll start to surround yourself with will get you. You know what I'm saying? Will just get you fundamentally. It will come natural to them, right? Because you're getting you, right? And you don't really care who gets you or not. And I feel like that's the magnetism that draws other people in, right? You feel self-contained. You feel like, the love for yourself and the worth that you have for yourself is so strong that it continues to permeate and it attracts those same souls. And that's why you all kind of think the same way or have the same understandings about certain topics and ideologies. Okay, so let's reveal your pile selection card. And look, it says, I honor animals with reverence. So I love this. So I feel like you could be seeing a lot of animal totems right now. This could be cats. These could be hummingbirds. It doesn't have to be, right? But it says, I honor animals with reverence. So you're giving deep reverence maybe to your animalistic nature as well. Maybe even to your lower nature, your lower devices, right? The ones that continue to tie us to the animal kingdom, right? Our intrinsic natural responses towards things. I know people often say, like, humans are just more intelligent animals. Take that if it resonates. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But I'm just kind of regurgitating what I've heard. Oh, there's also a serpent up here. So you could be seeing serpents, animal totems is just what I'm getting, right? And you are not just seeing those animal totems being like, oh, okay, you're researching it. You are wondering how it connects to your life and how it connects in maybe even to the life of others, right? You're paying reverence and homage. It's almost how like the ancients in Egypt used to used to worship cats. I'm not saying you're gonna start worshiping cats or animal totems or anything of that nature, but they paid reverence to them, right? They honored them just the way they would honor maybe even a physical person. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not an Egyptologist, or I haven't studied much about their worship of cats. They might have even treated cats better than people. I don't know. But what I'm getting is that you could just be placing more of an emphasis on the totems that you're seeing on a daily basis, right? So let's say, for an example, how you look up angel numbers, you might see the angel number 444 occur a lot. And you're like, okay, I've seen it like 3 times today. Let me look it up. What does that mean? That could be what you're doing with the animals or the birds or the serpents that you're seeing in your life right now. If they keep popping up, you're like, okay, well, let me remember to look that up, right? And it could pertain to something about self-love, about the love of the people around you, friendships, conjuring love into your life right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, things of that nature. So I digress. Pile number 2's let's get into your reading, my love. So we have at the bottom of the deck card number 4. Interestingly enough, I did say, wow, we have 444 in this reading. I promise y'all, I did not notice that until just now. Okay, so again, we do have 444 in this reading, and I just said something about the angel number 444. So these animals, these animals could be like, you could be seeing these depictions of cats, of certain birds, of serpents over and over again, to the point where you look them up and they could pertain to the number 444. They could be a guide from beyond that is guiding you. Maybe a lost pet. If you've had a pet that has recently passed or has passed, who has passed away maybe in your childhood or early adulthood or your teens, take it as it resonates. They could be sending you a lot of love right now, okay, in your time of need. So again, with card number 4, the Emperor, we have the herb hemlock. Now, I don't know exactly what the herb hemlock means, so I do want to read it a little bit from this guidebook. So let's see. We have, it says, for the Emperor hemlock, build strong boundaries. It says a sturdy structure supports abundant growth. Own your authority. It says a square mandala lies on a wooden table. An 8-pointed star made of hemlock cones form the centerpiece. 4 small houses crafted of branches grow out of the star. Sprigs of hemlock separated by yellow rose petals adorn the top and bottom. Hemlock cones and tips form an expansive rectangular framework around the piece. A strong foundation and a safe environment build a solid future. Hemlock is ideal for framing houses because it is a soft wood that toughens with age. Trust your boundaries. Wow, I like that. It says they may feel pliable at first, but they will strengthen over time. By creating the conditions for other plants to thrive, hemlock is an important part of a healthy ecosystem. Wow. And when it's ecosystem, that's what I'm getting to with the birds, the bees, and the trees, right? Even humans have to, and we need to start doing this more, abiding by our ecosystem so we can have reverence for the sentient beings that live within us as well, that live around us in our environments, right? Maybe you've been getting that notion too. So it says, by creating the conditions for other plants to thrive, hemlock is an important part of a healthy ecosystem. Build a reliable scaffolding on which your sacred work can grow. Step into leadership with confidence. So I feel like you're starting to evoke this leadership, these leadership capabilities, right? Pile number 2s. And you need to protect yourself, protect your boundaries. And it's funny because I started, and I'm not going to show you guys, obviously, because I don't really even show my face on this channel, but I've started to wrap a white cloth around my head for protection whenever I'm doing these readings, because I don't know if it's something that I need to do particularly, but for some reason I kept getting that. And my friends have even kept suggesting spiritual hygiene, right? So I'm trying to put into practice these methods of spiritual hygiene, and it seems to be working, and it's probably because my belief systems are integrating with them, right? Whatever your beliefs are your projected reality for the most part. So whatever you believe to be, it usually comes into fruition. That's why the law of attraction is so prevalent in today's society. That's why certain principles, universal principles that we're living by are so prevalent in today's society, because they're actually right in congruence with the laws of gravity and things of that nature. We would never question the laws of gravity, so why question certain spiritual laws, right? So with that, especially that trust your boundaries, I feel like your soul is really telling you something about maybe the people, places, or things around you right now. And I feel like maybe you've even been, and there's not a hermit card here, but you've been maybe insular, or you've been like this hermit mode. Maybe you could be getting messages from like a passed on pet to get another pet that will help you, or that will help to keep the spiritual hygiene intact too. Maybe you've been thinking about getting a cat or a dog or something of that nature that's just going to help to protect your surroundings or something like that. Pile number 2s. So let's start with the Celtic cross spread with card number 1 in the You Now and Heart of the Matter position. And we have the 4 of Earth with Willow. So I feel like with the 4 of Earth being the 4 of Pentacles, you are holding a lot of things too tightly that you might need to let go of, right? I feel like what you've built thus far, you're kind of holding it close to you because you don't want to let it go, right? With the 6 of Earth, Pine, being at the bottom of this card, I feel like it's something in relation to giving and receiving. It's something about balance here, right? And I feel like maybe you're holding on to your balance, to your abundance as well, to your success as well. And you're holding on to that for dear life, which to me isn't a bad thing. I feel like with the 4 of Earth, what it's suggesting also is that you might need to start balancing a budget. I know that comes out a lot in our readings as well, but you need to start balancing a budget, right? The 6 of Earth stands for giving and receiving, right? But doing so within the context of what you have coming in, right? Because what I'm getting for you, pile number 2s, is almost like if you have like this imbalanced relationship with your finances, it kind of coincides with your self-worth. I don't know why I'm getting that, but that's what I'm getting. 4 of Earth. So you're holding, I feel like right now you're working on holding on to your foundation and your abundance and your success. And I think that's a good thing that you're doing. And I feel like you could be learning more about finances, not only how to grow your finances, but how to keep your abundance as well. In the challenge and blocking position, in blockage position, we have the 6 of air with cattail, okay? So you could be writing down, like I said, writing down a budget, learning what to do with your money and how to make it grow, but how to also sustain and not live paycheck to paycheck. With the 6 of air, it's almost like you're moving into calmer water. So that could also present a challenge to your budget, because it's like where you're at now with the 4 of earth is like you're holding on to your finances, but because you're feeling maybe relaxed in certain areas of your life, you could be emotionally spending, or maybe that helps to relieve you, right? Like, think about it. You know how they talk about retail therapy? So I feel like in the blockage position, you might feel like through spending, you get some type of like dopamine release, or like some type of relief from something, okay? So what I'm getting is that this autumn equinox is trying to suggest that you could be emotionally spending right now, and you need to like really kind of like reel it in or observe yourself, right? Don't judge yourself for it, but just observe when emotions are high, what do you do next, right? So let's say that. In the conscious goal, we have the 5 of water, which is golden seal. Interestingly enough, with the 5 of water, it talks about sadness, disappointment, even depression, right? So what, crying over spilled milk, so to speak. So maybe you've been finding yourself emotionally spending, because the conscious goal is to get out of this, right? Is to not cry over spilled milk, is to look at the silver lining that you still have people, places, and things that love you, that care about you. You still have partnerships that you need to take care of. So relishing in what is now gone, or what has been spilt over, isn't of service to you or of them. And I feel like that's the conscious goal, is to understand that and to move forward, right? In the unknown influences, we have the 4 of fire. So I feel like the unknown influences that you could emotionally spend or overspend when you're celebrating, right? Or to celebrate something. With the 4 of fire, elder, what I'm getting is that, especially with the 4 of fire being the 4 of wands, it's a cause for a celebration. It's, you know, that financial independence, right? Maybe you have received certain independence in your finances through owning your own business, right? Through like calling the shots at work with the Emperor card. And that's the unknown influence. You know that you can always make money, but it's keeping it. That's the issue, right? And I don't know why I'm getting this for pile number 2s. This could only apply to a few of you, right? But that's just what I'm getting here, okay? So in the unknown influence position with the 4 of fire, it's like, yes, because you're stable, because your bills are taken care of, I feel like maybe you just place more emphasis on spending for your leisure, right? Instead of saving, reinvesting, whether that be in yourself, whether that be in, just to make your finances appreciate, right, in value. You're just kind of just spending for leisure and not spending for a purpose. So in the past influences, we have the Ace of Air. I feel like you're starting to understand what's going on here. You're like, hold on, I don't like living paycheck to paycheck. I don't like not having extra money when I really need it, right? Because I've prematurely spent money where I really didn't even need to, or I'm not understanding where my money's going. I don't know why this turned into a financial reading, but it has, okay? So with the Ace of Air here with Yarrow, what is it? Trust your boundaries. And look, there's barbed wire. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Now, hold on. Pile number 2s. There's a lot of connections, the dots. The math is mathing right now, right? there is not only barbed wire that says trust your boundaries, right? Because you're getting signs and synchronicities from animals, from birds, from whatever, maybe even just through this reading. There is a hummingbird. I wish this focused. I'm gonna have to get a brand new camera for y'all. But there is a hummingbird on this branch, right? And I feel like you've maybe been seeing these signs and synchronicities, right? And also a hummingbird right here, okay? That's what I meant. So we have the Ace of Air with hummingbird, hummingbird, two different decks, right? So not only that, we have a cat and we have cattail, the plant, right? Because it's fluffy like a cat's tail. And so there's a lot of synchronicities here. We also have 444. So one of your spirit guides or one of your ancestors or angels could come in as a hummingbird or a cat, okay, that guides you and tells you maybe the right things to do. And maybe you need to hone into that. Maybe you need to lean into that, right? Maybe you've kind of dusted it off or brushed it off, right, in the past. And you're getting clarity about this now. Maybe even if it's just through this reading, okay? That was a major synchronistic moment. So let's move forward. We have approaching influences, the Six of Earth, Pine. You are really going to get good at saving some and at giving some out. Saving some and at giving some away, right? And I'm figuring this is pertaining to your resources, right? You're learning when to save and when to give, right? When to hold back and when to spend, so to speak. So this is really great, pile number 2s. And I feel like this autumn equinox is giving you this opportunity early with this message, okay? Your inner resources or talents is the Madre of Water, which is the Queen of Cups. It's oats. You're comforting. You're comfortable to people, right? I feel like people love you and they really feel like you are very nurturing, kind, caring, and compassionate individual, but also you have a really heightened intuition. And I feel like as inner resources or talents, that enables you to stay, how can I put it? To stay ahead of the curve, right? And to always have a resource that you can give to people and thus be given back to, whether that be with other resources, whether that be with money, time, free gifts, right? Things of that nature. So, and how others see you is a 10 of Cups, Clover. People see you as a bundle of joy. People really love being around you, to be around you, pile number 2. So that's really good. Yeah, people really are fulfilled when they're in your presence. And I think more so than you even know, okay? So it says hopes and or fears position. We have the 3 of Air, Echinacea. So I feel like you hope to heal your heart, okay? You hope to heal and you hope to heal yourself and you hope to heal others. But I feel like in the fear, you could be a little afraid of heartbreak, what that means for you, maybe of heartache or feeling other people's feelings because you've let them too close to you, right? And I feel like as your inner resources and talents, the Madre of Water to me is very empathic. They absorb, a lot of the energies around them, right? Whether it be because water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So your hopes and your hopes is to heal, but your fear is to maybe keep a certain distance or boundaries around people so you won't absorb their heartache or the energies that just will deplete you or won't serve you, right? And in the outcome, we have the 9 of Earth, apples, beautiful. This is like, to me, compounded 6 of Earth energy, right? So there's a lot of abundance coming in. You're going to be doing really well with your finances. And it's not only are you going to be surviving, but you're really going to be thriving. And you're going to be able to afford the luxuries in life while still having things tucked away, right? By implementing these really good financial practices, okay? As well as spiritual practices with keeping people, you know, in their rightful place. I hope that doesn't sound like crazy or anything, but by maintaining these boundaries that you're setting, because they're really going to fare well for you. Pile number 2. So let's pull some more cards. I'm going to use the Black Moon Astrology deck. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages from the Autumn Equinox for our pile number 2s. What does pile number 2s need to hear right now from this Autumn Equinox, Spirit? Clear, concise, accurate messages. So 2 cards just flew out, and it's interesting because at the bottom of the deck before I started to shuffle was Blessings, Grand Trine. So that's very interesting. Anyhow, we have card number 12, Black Moon Lilith with Mystery. We have card number 20, Scorpio, I Transform. Let's get one more card. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages. Wow, your cards are flying out, pile number 2. So we have card number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. So I feel like you might be feeling a little provoked in your energetic bodies right now, right? Like your spirit might feel provoked because you're transforming, okay? There's a lot of kind of like mystery shrouding you right now, especially with Scorpio. That's so interesting because you're going through a metamorphosis, pile number 2s. And I feel like people love you and they care about you. And they're like, what is going on with pile number 2s? They're kind of like isolating themselves right now, but I feel like you're just setting boundaries and you're setting clear ones, and you might just be transforming not just yourself but your finances, right? The relationship that you have with yourself kind of pertains to the relationship that you have with money, right? And I feel like you're at this point in your life, this juncture in your life where you could go left, right, front, back, side to side, and you're really just giving yourself the grace to find out what's going to work best for you at this time. There's nothing wrong with that, pile number 2s, and please don't let anybody make you feel bad about that, right? The Grand Cross Provoker card does stands for being at a crossroads in our lives right now. And I just feel like you're really taking this time, especially, are we still in Virgo season? We might be in Libra season, but you're really taking this time to like order your steps, right? To make sure you're taking calculated risk, but assessing those risks along the way. And I feel like animals are really showing up in your life, whether they be hummingbirds, whether they be cats, whether you keep seeing serpent totems a lot. Look those up because they have a message for you, okay? Especially as it pertains to the autumn equinox. So I'm going to pull some Moonology cards to end off your reading, pile number 2s. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck, for giving our pile number 2s clear, concise, accurate messages from the autumn equinox. What do they need to hear right now from the autumn equinox, Spirit? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2s from the autumn equinox. It says, have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. I love that. And I feel like you do have faith in your dreams. You know you still have a lot of work to put in, but you're not giving up on yourself, and you're not giving up on where you want to be or where you see yourself, whether that be financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of the above, pile number 2s. You really are transforming. You're growing up, okay? Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 2s. Look at this. Won't you see it? It says emotions are running high, supermoon, okay? And guess what? Look at what just popped out. Prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. Beautiful energy, pile number 2s. So not only is prosperity coming into your life, but you are finally learning how to increase that prosperity, save some, and also tithe, right? Give some away to those who might need it the most, okay? Or to those who have served you in the past, right? To pay it forward. So I love this energy, and yeah, that's what's coming in from the autumn equinox, and that's what they want you to hear right now. It says the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Also, great message to end off your reading, pile number 2. So with that being said, my lovely dreamy dreamers, I love you so much. If you like this reading, if it resonated, please hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends, or anyone who would best benefit from the messages provided here today. Again, dreamy dreamers, I love you so much, and until next time, I'll see you in our next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 3s, welcome back to your reading. So you all chose this Numite crystal, okay? And I think this is the birthstone of Sagittarius, or one of them. And when I researched this crystal, it says encourages self-examination and self-exploration, which is something Sagittarius love to do, right? They're one of the wisest signs of the zodiac, okay? So with this Numite crystal, I feel like this autumn equinox is encouraging, as this crystal would suggest, self-examination and self-exploration, right? Learning how powerful you actually are, and learning how to wield that power in the process, right? Especially if you're just coming to the grips of how powerful your mind can be, and your manifestation abilities. Okay, so let's reveal your pile selection card. So we have I speak positively of others. I love this. So what I'm getting that the autumn equinox wants you to hear right now is words are spells, right? Words are spells, and what you emote always comes back to us, right? Whether we believe that or not. It's almost like a universal law. What we think, what we become, has been said down through the ages, right? So that's what I'm getting that this autumn equinox wants you to know, or wants you to hear right now, pile number 3s, is that maybe take an inward glance in your internal life, and maybe that will answer for you the questions that you've had as it pertains to your external life. Why are you experiencing certain things? Why are you going through certain things? By taking a look inward, maybe you'll start to realize, have I been speaking the most positively of others? And if not, I need to, rearrange that, because obviously if I haven't been speaking positively of others, then I definitely am not speaking the most positively about myself. Or even if that's not the case, maybe if I haven't been speaking the most positively of others, whatever I am doing as it pertains to the opposite of that is maybe causing more harm than good in my internal reality, right? So yeah, let's move forward with your reading, pile number 3. So we have at the bottom of the deck the Two of Fire with Bee Balm, right? And it's interesting with Bee Balm because I feel like when you're stung by a bee, right? Bees kind of like kamikaze themselves. When they sting you, they're trying to hurt you, but in reality, they die, right? So it's almost in alignment with the message that I was getting, pile number 3s, is a lot of the things that we say about others, we're really saying it about ourselves. We're really projecting onto them, right? And that could cause a lot of inner strife in our life, unknowingly, right? So I feel like with the Two of Fire, which talks about wielding power and not just sometimes we want to hold all the power, but in reality, we'd best benefit giving another stick, giving another wand, right? Because the Two of Fire is the Two of Wands, giving other people power as well, right? Not just trying to keep all the power within us, because the Two of Wands symbolizes and really articulates a person who feels omnipotent, like God, right? But the thing is, to also allow other people to wield their power without encroaching upon it, right? And also allowing people to feel powerful too, okay? But I feel like you're planning that. You're on the right path. So it's not like you're this horrible person or anything like that. No, I feel like you're on the right path because you have been begging the question, well, why is my life like this? And is it of my own doing, right? Am I making the bed that I'm sleeping in, so to speak? Okay, so with that being said, let's progress to your reading. We have the Magician, 9 of Air, 8 of Fire, which is the 8 of Wands, 7 of Air, which is the 7 of Swords. We have the 5 of Water, 5 of Cups, 3 of Earth, 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Air, 2 of Swords. We have the World card, the 6 of Air, which is the 6 of Swords, and the Adalita of Fire, which is the Knight of Wands, okay? So with this being said, pile number 3s, let's start. I'm going to read it as a Celtic cross spread. So in the You Now, Heart of the Matter position, we have the Magician here with the Sunflower. So I feel like you understand how powerful you are and how to wield your power, right? You know that as above, so below, as within, so without. And you can tell that this sunflower's leaves is pointing downward and it's pointing upward, and that there is this infinity sign above it. That's just life. That's how life goes, okay? So I feel like you're starting to get clarity on this, pile number 3s, that the things that you think, that things that you worry about will soon come to fruition, okay? So I feel like you're also making the choice to make better decisions. How you think about people, what you say about people, and how you know, maybe even how you think about people, really. It comes back to you, whether you know it or not, you know? And having high self-esteem doesn't mean we have to degrade another person, or doesn't mean we have to think lowly about another person to build us up. That's not what that means. I'm getting how we think about others is typically how we really think about ourselves on a very subconscious level. So I feel like you're starting to understand this. You know that you're a magician, and you know you have the clarity too, that you know the things that you think about others is ultimately maybe a projection of yourself and how you think about yourself. So I feel like you're learning to release this and to speak positively of others and to have positive expectancy of others and to look at others in a beautiful light, because when you do that to others, you ultimately do that to yourself, right? In the blockage / challenge position, it's the 9 of Air, Pomegranate. I feel like you've been worried and anxious a lot, and this is coming up to the surface, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. So I feel like even with the 2 of Air being at the bottom, there's a lot of overthinking. There's a lot of overanalyzing situations that you really don't need to worry about. That really, you really don't want to have it to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I feel like with the 2 of Air, you are really trying to cut this out. Like, because you know, you probably noticed that it's affecting you. It's affecting your well-being here, with this 9 of Air being in the blockage position. There could also be a Virgo thinking about you incessantly that's causing this, right? And it could have been a boomerang effect, something that you said about them that's kind of like coming straight back to you, or vice versa. Maybe something that this person has said about you that's coming straight back to them, but like it's also affecting you simultaneously, right? But I feel like you're looking really for peace. You're looking for peace within yourself. So again, I kind of want to read a little bit of this 9 of Air just because I like the descriptions in this Herb Crafter's Tarot. So let's see, 9. And 9 is a number of completion. So I feel like you're about to release these internal, incessant thoughts that have been plaguing you. So look, it says, with the 9 of Air, it says, Pomegranate, no love, no grief. Claim your underworld crown. You are the sky, everything else is weather. Pema Chodron. So it says the branches of a tall pomegranate lead. Wait. Sorry, let me start over. The branches of a tall pomegranate tree sag with ripe, heavy fruit. Beyond the tree, a pathway leads to a desert mountain. The sun disappears, then reappears beneath unpredictable storm clouds. On a table inside, a large pomegranate is split open with a bowline. So it says, red juice drips, seeds scatter to the floor. Let go of what you cannot control. Yes. It says, pomegranate is a tree that leads to Dementor's agonizing loss in the Greek mythology. It says her daughter Persephone consumes the seeds and seals her fate as queen of the underworld. As a hike through the desert will prove, pain is one path to wisdom. It says, when heartache enters your life, do not turn away. And the prophet Khalil Gibran says, the deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Oof, this is deep. It says, do not hurry your grief. Pomegranate fruit must be harvested at just the right time. It will not ripen off the tree. You will live through shattering experiences and still stand proud. When you are ready, quench the thirst of guilt, regret, and worry. Invite in forgiveness. Dang. So some of you all might have felt called to pile number 1s too. You should definitely go check that out. But again, pile number 3s, yeah, I feel like you're embracing the all. You're embracing your life right now, but also in the process, you could be experiencing some grief, or you could be experiencing some like stormy weather, so to speak. With that being said, just embrace whatever's happening, like that card would suggest. I think they said it very beautifully, especially bringing Khalil Gibran into the picture. I love him. So, yeah, you know that there's always a silver lining, and I feel like there's peace coming in after this, these sleepless nights maybe you've been enduring, or this incessant worry. Okay, there's peace coming in because you're choosing peace. You're making a heart and mind decision to choose your peace over anything else, and that could start from kind words and kind thoughts to others. Maybe a sense of gratitude towards others right now that you're not able to give to yourself right now. Okay. So in the conscious goal position, we have the 8 of Fire. I feel like you're sending a lot of love to people. In the Rider-Waite Tarot, the 8 of Fire or the 8 of Wands are arrows of love. So I feel like you are sending out a lot of good tidings and a lot of good joy to people and healing to people. And I feel like with the World card underneath this is going to be successful in your evolution and in sending yourself love as well. In the unknown influence, we have the 7 of Air, Eucalyptus. So the unknown influence could have been like a trickster mindset that was entering your consciousness, right? Like very tricky, that was depleting you of all your resources. We have eucalyptus, and we have this contraption that derives essential oils from their plants and their roots, right? And it's very consuming, and it's very time consuming, and it's very draining of the natural resources that are provided here on Earth. So this makes sense. It's almost like you were just draining your innate wisdom or capabilities or something. You're depleting yourself. And it's interesting because we have the 7 of Air on top of the 6 of Air, which is like, you know, the 6 of Air is all about kind of being brought back into a state of balance and being able to relax your mind and to be brought into calmer waters of your mind and your emotion, right? With cattail here. So I do want to read a little bit of the 7 of Air, 7 of Swords for you out of this guidebook, because it is the herb eucalyptus, and I do want you all to listen to the story as it pertains to essential oils. So it says, 7 of Air, eucalyptus, trust in reason, do not be swayed by popular opinion, respond with integrity. It says a copper still sits next to a pile of old aromatherapy books on a sunny table outside. Sunlight bounces over the scene. A warm breeze pushes eucalyptus leaves around across the books, and the large eucalyptus tree nearby shudders with delight. Information is key to understanding. It says trust in reason, discern fact from feelings. This is what's going on right now for you, pile number 3s. When your assumptions are challenged, learn more before taking further action. Essential oils may provide quick relief but are a resource-intensive medicine. Hundreds of pounds of plant material are needed to make 1 ounce of oil. Wow. It says, as botanicals desirable for their essential oils, such as eucalyptus, are planted, native species are pushed out, devastating local ecosystems. Eucalyptus teaches us that what comes easily usually comes with a hidden cost, right? So what comes easily might be to revert to bashing someone, or revert to gossip, or revert to talking about someone's unsavory characteristics versus praising them, or, giving them grace, things of that nature, right? So it said, it is often said that the greatest enemy of learning is not ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge, is thinking we know, right? So it says, distill information to the essence of clarity. Act ethically, whether or not anyone knows. Exactly. Just as eucalyptus clears the lungs, you will breathe easy once again. Truth will give you directions. Okay, so I love that. Yeah, so you are learning that, right? You are not deceiving yourself anymore, and your mind is being freed up in the process. Pile number 3s. So in the past influence, we have the 5 of water, and I feel like maybe you felt the need to judge or to even be a participant, maybe even not standing up for someone, but just being around when someone else was being talked badly about, right? And with the 5 of water, golden seal in the past influence, maybe someone was really talking from a place of hurt and disappointment and sadness and depression, okay? Whether that was you or someone else, okay? So in the approaching influence, we have the 3 of earth, raspberry. So there could be amends that are made here, right? People working together, or you being more cooperative with the people in your life, and knowing that neurologically speaking, when we put ourselves in uncomfortable situations, even if that is standing up for someone else when they're being talked badly about, or, learning more information, that creates grooves in our brain. So when that happens again, we get more and more comfortable with standing up for people, standing up for ourselves, creating good boundaries, speaking positively of others, right? Practice makes perfect, not engaging in gossip that will later deplete us, even if it's the easier thing to do in the moment, right? That's what I'm getting, just being cooperative and working with others cooperatively instead of working against them, okay? So in the inner resource or talent, we have the 2 of air, chicory. I feel like you know how to have a heart and mind. You know how to make heart and mind decisions. You know peace, right? That is your inner resource. You know how to be peaceful. You know how to meditate on things. You know what gives you peace, or you're starting to come to know what gives you peace. So always go back to that whenever this 9 of Swords energy happens, right? Or maybe by meditating at night, you'll, wow, I just smelled like a waft of incense. And I'm like, where did that come from? So maybe learning how, or starting to implement nightly meditations will help you in regards to not being maybe anxious before you go to sleep, and bringing that anxiety into your sleep, right? It'll transmute that anxiety into peace. How others see you is the world. Pachamama is successful. You thriving, right? On your own, you being whole and complete. In and of yourself, okay? So I feel like with this, people see you as very successful, as having the world in the palm of your hands. Maybe you don't realize that about other people. And now with that being said, you're able to traverse maybe the ill will you felt, or maybe even if people spite you for your success, you'll be able to transmute that energy. Pile number 3. It says hopes and fears is a 6 of air. So I feel like your hope is to feel some relief and feel like you're headed to calmer waters, but also you fear maybe the unknown. Where exactly is it that you're going? Where exactly is it that your angels, ancestors, and guides are guiding you to, right? Maybe you're fearful of being bored or something, okay? I don't know why. Maybe you're fearful of apologizing, writing someone a letter or writing someone a message of apology to make amends for maybe something you've said or something, you know, you need to clear the air, right? With the Six of Swords. Maybe you're a little fearful of the repercussions that come with clearing the air or making amends, okay? Maybe you're fearful of that person not being receptive. So your outcome is the Adelita of Fire, which is Cayenne. So it seems like the outcome is like maybe impulsivity, maybe, you know, having a lot of passion towards what it is that you're doing, excitement, feeling intense emotions, okay? That's coming up. But pile number 3 is you're still on the right path. So there's nothing to fear. I feel like you're going to find some type of balance and equanimity when it comes to the things that you're worried about in life, okay? I really don't feel like you have to worry about much. I feel like you have to worry about the words that you're sending out for some reason, whether it be in thoughts or actual things that are coming out of your mouth, okay? So let's shuffle some more cards and get some more information, okay? So thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck, for giving pile number 3's clear, concise, accurate messages. Tell us more, Spirit. What is this autumn equinox? We want pile number 3's to hear right now, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages from this autumn equinox for our pile number 3's. Okay, so this fell out. Card number 21, we have Sagittarius IC. And what did I say about this crystal? It's the Sagittarius birthstone. So it could be maybe some things you've said about a Sagittarius, or things that maybe a Sagittarius is saying about you, or, you know, you could be the Sagittarius. Pile number 3's. Let's pull some more cards. You're about to see something a lot clearer. Pile number 3's. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for pile number 3's from this autumn equinox. Okay. We have card number 8 with Chiron, healing. Okay, so maybe a Sagittarius in your life is healing from something, right? Because to me, this card reminds me of the 9 of Wands, which also signifies Sagittarius energy. There could be a lot of Sagittarius around you that are going through something. One more card, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 3's. Tell us more, Spirit. Look, card number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. So there could be Sagittariuses going through a crossroads in their life, right? Where they're healing. And maybe for some reason that could be overwhelming to you. Let's see, what's at the bottom of the deck? Look at this. Card number 20, Scorpio, I transform, yes. These could be people around your environment, particularly Sagittariuses, that are going through a deep healing process because they're at a crossroads in their lives. Pile number 3's, you could be the Sagittarius that's going through a deep healing process because you're in a crossroads in your life, or you have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, and this is linking. Yeah. You know what's interesting? And I'm going to be honest here. One thing that I've noticed about Sagittarius is they have the capacity. I'm not saying that they are, or that all of them are, or anything like that. But Sagittariuses have the capacity, because they hold themselves at such high standards, to be rather judgmental, right? Not to say that every Sagittarius is judgmental, but I feel like Sagittariuses are so well endowed with knowing who they are and having the wisdom to know others, that they kind of have this thing with self-righteousness. Not all the time, right? I'm not saying every single Sagittarius, right? But I'm saying the Sagittariuses that I've known, they are wise beyond their years, a lot of them, but I also feel like they have the capacity to be rightfully indignant, right? Just righteous and gracefully so. They're not like aggressive with it, right? And I feel like they have the capacity to be a little judgmental, and maybe that's starting to permeate on their external world. Not to say that the world is judging them, but they could feel maybe a little anxious or worried about their feeling states right now, because maybe what they've put out has come back to them a little. And I feel like they're starting to understand that. So, or maybe this doesn't even have to pertain to Sagittariuses just alone. This could just be the characteristics of certain Sagittarius, and almost like whatever they're saying is just coming back. I've been talking to people a lot about how this time delay is almost like non-existent right now. I'll say this for me, it's just a hypothesis that I have, but there has been a time delay shift that I felt like happened a couple months ago during the full moon in Capricorn. And I feel like a lot of the things that we're thinking and saying as a collective, not just Sagittarius alone, as a collective is happening at an exponential speed, right? It's just almost happening instant. And I feel like now what that is entailing is us to be more cooperative to not just ourselves, but to one another, and give each other grace, and maybe kind of simmer down the judging, just because you ever hear when you point a finger at someone, you have three, right, pointing back at you, right? So not to say that that's what's going on with the Sagittarius collective. That's not what I mean. But I've noticed that a lot of Sagittariuses in my life have been going through some challenges. And I don't know what it could be. It could be about anything. But I feel like maybe because Sagittarius do tend to hold themselves at very high standards, they don't really give themselves grace. And maybe that sometimes could permeate to the external world, right? So let's conclude this reading. Pile number 3s. Any Sagittarius out there, I love Sagittarius. I love Sagittarius. We are like this. We just get each other. But I'm not trying to offend. I'm just saying my personal experiences. These are my personal experiences that I've come with Sagittarius. They could be very hard on themselves too, and not give them, they're very graceful, but they could be very hard on themselves because they really do hold themselves to a certain standard and expectation in life, which I love. Okay. And I feel like I have a lot of Sagittariuses in my life, so I can hold myself at a higher standard. It enables me. It activates that within me, right? So yeah. But let's conclude your reading. Pile number 3s. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 3s. Last messages for our pile number 3. Spirit, advice, guidance, and wisdom from this autumn equinox. Messages, guidance, wisdom from this autumn equinox, Spirit. So we have bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. So we have you and your loved ones are safe, new moon in Cancer, love that. One more card, Spirit. Yeah, there's like a new beginning. There's this metamorphosis that's happening where there's like unconditional love being taught right now, to love our brothers and our sisters unconditionally, and to not, give them some grace. I know I need it. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages. And I'm saying this to myself too. I know I need grace for myself too. I don't give myself a lot of grace. I try to, though. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 3s. Last card, Spirit. Okay. So, okay. So we have at the bottom of the deck, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. There's something coming in during this new moon in Libra. We have balanced spirituality with practicality, full moon in Pisces. So to me, this is saying meditate, and balance your inner world with your outer world, right? With this full moon in Pisces. And then we have nothing will come of the situation, void of course moon. So I'm feeling like people are going to be feeling back to normal again. There's not going to be any repercussions or any craziness that's coming out of this situation. You're safe, you're protected, you're heavily guided and regarded, okay? But it's just like, it's almost like a telltale experience. Like, just do unto others, like use the golden rule. And it's funny because we have golden seal here, which I'm getting the golden rule, do unto others as you would want to be done unto. So even if that's feeling like maybe you're judging a situation, circumstance, person, place, or thing prematurely, don't, just give it grace. And by giving yourself grace, you'll give the situation, the person, the circumstance grace as well. And it'll fall off of its own weight or something like that. It'll just kind of like fall off. You know what I'm saying? The feeling, the, whatever is current, the anxiety, it'll just fall off if you don't judge it. Don't, how they tell us in meditation, don't judge your thoughts, just observe them. Just observe what's happening. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to label it. Just observe it, right? So with that being said, pile number 3 is I really hope this reading resonated and it made sense. I hope I was conveying the message that you needed, okay? So with that being said, I love you so much, my dreamy dreamers. If you like this reading, if it resonated, please hit that like button, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends, or anyone who would best benefit from the messages provided here today. Again, my dreamy dreamers, I love you so much, and until next time, I'll see you in your next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 4s, welcome back to your reading. So you all chose this really beautiful amethyst crystal ball for your pile selection crystal. So I just have to say, before I get started with the reading, standing O, round of applause for you, pile number 4s, because just from looking at your cards, it seems like y'all have been really working on yourselves, okay? You've been healing, you've been working on obsessive or addictive tendencies, okay? With this amethyst crystal, you all have really been willing yourself to find resolve in your life, and it seems like this is all paying off, okay? So I just had to, gas you up, okay? Give you some big ups, okay, for doing this work. It's beautiful, okay? So with that being said, with the crystal amethyst, again, you're healing, you're taking your healing seriously, you're motivated to go through and grow through whatever it is that you are facing right now or have faced in the recent past, okay? So I just have to commend you for your efforts, because it's not in vain, okay? Your efforts here are not in vain. So let's reveal your pile selection card. We have I respect the properties of other, okay? So I feel like you really do respect other people and what belongs to them. You really try to do unto others as you would want to be done unto, okay, pile number 4s? And I feel like with you practicing this, you're about to receive a bounty. You're about to receive a lot of rewards, even if it's like this spiritual sustenance, right? This spiritual balance, this almost like retribution. Something might be coming back full circle to you as well. Something that you have been waiting for some time now as well. Maybe someone did not treat you in that way, did not respect your property, or did not respect your property. And so maybe you dealt with that really lovingly or in the best way you could. And because you did it in the best way you could, now you're receiving retribution from that. And not in a bad way. I feel like retribution is a strong word, but you're receiving grace from God, spirit source energy, your creator, right? You're getting back what has been taken from you, okay? So good job, pile number 4. Is lovely energy, okay? So at the bottom, let's hop straight into your reading. without further delay, at the bottom of your reading, we have 8 of Earth with turmeric. So I feel like you are using what you got to get what you want. You're using your resources. Okay, so you can see this person is working with turmeric, but not only are they cooking with it, they're dyeing things with it, right? They're probably making a turmeric, maybe it's turning it into a powder, turning it, cooking with it, and using the remnants of it to, make arts, to make things lovely, right? So with the 8 of Earth being the 8 of Pentacles, you're working with the things that you have, and because you're doing that and because you've done that so well, maybe in the recent past, until now, you're being rewarded. You're being equally compensated for your efforts. So let's hop into your reading, pile number 4s. I'm going to do the Celtic cross spread, so I'm going to do each card one by one and also integrate the intuitive readings into it, right? So starting with your first card, we have card number 11, a major arcana, Justice. So some of you all could be Libras or have Libra highly aspected in your chart. And I feel like things are coming back into equilibrium for you. You are being compensated equally for your work and your efforts, like I suggested in the 8 of Pentacles here, or in the 8 of Earth here with turmeric, right? With the card number 11, Justice with cannabis, I feel like you are being redeemed, right? A lot of people got put in jail and stuff and persecuted really harshly for selling marijuana or selling cannabis, right? And now cannabis is legal in a lot of countries. So in a lot of countries, I'm tripping. In a lot of states, right? In the United States, I know for sure, because this is what this is talking about, the Declaration. Is this the Declaration of Independence? I don't know what this is, but a bill, the declaration, whatever it is that this cannabis plant is sitting over, right? So not only, and it's interesting, right? Because with this card, not only do we have like the buds that are growing from these cannabis leaves, but we have hemp. That was, I think the Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper. And we have tinctures, we have balm that has probably had CBD derived from it, right? So you see the resourcefulness of this Justice card. This is also the resourcefulness that this 8 of Earth with the turmeric is suggesting. So I feel like God, Spirit, Source energy is celebrating you and is rewarding you for your resourcefulness or for your patience and making nothing into something, or turning one thing, alchemizing, right? Turning one thing, a bad situation, to a good situation, right? So with this Justice card, things are not only coming back into alignment for you, but you're being rewarded. And some of you all could have a lot of Libra in your chart, or this Libra season, right? That's coming up. We also have a new moon in Libra, is bringing in these good tidings into you for all your hard work and effort, okay? So in the number 2 position with the blockage and challenges, we have the 6 of Earth, Pine. I feel like your only challenge was giving too much. I really do feel that way, pile number 4s. With the 6 of Earth here, it talks about giving and receiving, and I felt like you maybe even attribute it to whatever happened in the past, maybe as in respects to other people's property or your own property, as you were just giving too much. You were too kind. You were too giving, right? And sometimes that could, you ever hear this notion, no good deed goes unpunished? I feel like that's the blockage position for you. Maybe, you were too giving to a person who would never be that giving to you, right? And it kind of bit you in the behind, but you are being redeemed from that action, okay? In the conscious goal position, we have the 3 of Fire. I feel like you have been forged through the fire. You have expanded in growth due to this challenge. Maybe you lost something really important to you or valuable to you, and you're about to get it back, but it's almost like the conscious goal was learning from this, right? Was growing through it, was expanding your consciousness to something and integrating the lesson here, okay? And knowing how to make better decisions moving forward. So in the unknown influence, we have the Nine of Fire with the wild cherry. So the unknown influence might have been the lack of boundaries that you set, right? Maybe you were healing, maybe you were sick, right? You weren't in your right mind, not sick in the head or anything, but maybe you were physically sick, right? You weren't in your right mind when you made this decision because of an ailment, because of something growing too big, or you not feeling equipped to, handle certain things when they came, and to set those boundaries that you needed, right? I feel like that was a part of the unknown influence for you, pile number 4, is you weren't, you didn't have the discernment at the time to place boundaries where they needed to be set, right? And it's like you knew it. You had a feeling, you had a suspicion, but you didn't trust in your intuition. In the past influence, we have card number 8, strength. So I felt like maybe you were trying to curtail or to tame maybe certain intuitive understandings that you already knew, like I really shouldn't loan this person my car, or I should have made sure that I should have double checked that my car was locked and maybe someone stole it or someone got into it, things of that nature. But I feel like the past influence, you have garnered a lot of strength from the situation that you're in. And obviously a car is just one example, put what applies in for you, pile number 4s. So we have inner resource, no, excuse me. That was a past influence. So approaching influence is the Hia of air with catnip. So I feel like someone could be kind of spying on you or watching you to see how you're maintaining or how you're dealing with certain things, or to see if you have recouped your losses, okay, with the Hia of air, which is the Page of Swords. I also feel like the approaching influence is that you're kind of quicker to see injustices before they come in because you're ready for them now, maybe whereas in the recent past you weren't. It says how others see you. Your inner resource or talent is the magician, the sunflower. I feel like you could transform any situation with thoughts and affirmation and taking action, right? You could transform any bad situation into something that works in your benefit. Pile number 4s, and that's a gift. It really is. I feel like you understand that you are a master manifester and that you can manifest anything in your life, and be it good, bad, or indifferent. But I feel like you choose to wield your power for good, and not just for your own good, but for the goodness of others as well. In the how others see you, we have the Lovers, Hawthorne. People know that you're kind and compassionate, and people know that whoever is watching you, pile number 4s, or whoever is keeping an eye out on you, I feel like they know how loving you are. They really do. And maybe they've taken that for granted in the past. You could be very integrated with this person who has maybe not been too kind to you, or who has taken your kindness as a weakness, right? Because even check this out. There's thorns on this crown. So, maybe you have related to a person in the past due to hardships. And maybe that's why you have allowed a person to, or not have allotted as many boundaries as you would towards this person who has maybe damaged your properties or something like that you really cared about because of that, right? You were giving them excuses or whatever. It says in hopes and fears, we have the High Priestess, Mugworth. I feel like you might be feeling what's coming on and you're hoping for the best, but maybe you're expecting not the worst, but you're expecting the unexpected as well. So you're hoping for the best. You feel like there could be goodness coming in, but if it's not, you don't really care. It's no sweat on your back. You're going to deal with things as they come. up, right? You're not going to rely on anyone else or circumstances to alter whatever is going to come into your life or not. You're going to wield your own power for the best of everyone involved and for yourself, and you're going to, handle what needs to be done, so to speak, if that makes any sense. But you're really healing, you're really growing, you're really working towards things, and you're always going to be rewarded in contrast to what you're putting out, right? So there's no need to worry. In the outcome position, y'all got 3 cards, which I thought was really fascinating. So we have card number 13 with Marigold Death. We have the Ace of Water, and then we have the 4 of Earth. So what I'm getting with this, and I feel like the 4 of Earth fell out first, the Ace of Water fell out second, and then Death fell out last. You're letting go of a lot of, maybe, how can I put this? You're letting go of a lot of like upsetting energy that you've been feeling towards someone, maybe the person who's damaged your property, or the person who didn't treat your property with respect, or the person who you felt like didn't respect you. You're letting go of any harsh feelings that you have towards them, and you're just sending them love right now, because I feel like you don't know what else to do. Pile number 4. You're just like, look, sending them anything else than love and like compassion isn't gonna do it, because maybe you've tried that and it just hurt you in the process. So now you're gonna send them love, you're gonna send them good energy, you're gonna send them strength, you're gonna send them what you would want a person to send you if you had bumped your head or lost your mind. Okay, you know what I mean? Like if a person is not in a right state of mind to the point where they would betray you or wouldn't respect your property, and you don't do that to them, then obviously they need a lot of love and compassion sent their way. So I feel like that's just what you're doing right now. You're letting go of like maybe your feelings about the situation in a negative way, and you're just sending them positivity, because obviously you're okay. You figured something out, pile number 4, and they really need that. So I think that's a good way of flipping the script, okay? So let's pull some more cards. Let's pull some Black Moon Astrology cards. So tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 4s. What else does this autumn equinox want pile number 4s to know right now? What else does pile number 4s need to know right now? Messages from the autumn equinox for pile number 4, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages. So we have card number 52, Void, of course, Moon, missing. And I'm getting whatever you feel is missing is about to come back into your life. Whatever that was lost is about to be found, okay? Tell us more, Spirit. Thank you. You can't make this up. Y'all seen how this card flew out. Card number 46, Grand Trine, blessings. Yeah. You're being blessed for being a blessing to others. Even if like in the immediate circumstances, you didn't feel too blessed, right? So tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile. Ooh, wow. These messages are shooting out. And would you look at here? Hold on, wait. Would you look at that pile number 4s? Card number 26, second house owning. So you're about to look, a lot more is coming in than what you missed, or what you missed, or what was taken from you. You're about to be so inundated with blessings. It's really gonna be something beautiful coming in. And we have card number 18, Virgo, I analyze. So this could have been a Virgo who, didn't really do the best with your graces as they could have. This could be a Virgo wanting to like apologize for if something that happened. If not, this could have happened in Virgo season, or maybe as a ramification of Virgo season. These blessings are coming in for you. Are we still in Virgo seasons, or are we in Libra season? I forgot, but I know this new moon is going to be in the sign of Libra, So I feel like there's a lot that's going to be balanced out in your life, pile number 4s, and what you have lost will be found again. So let's end off this reading with some Moonology cards to get advice, guidance, and wisdom to conclude your reading. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck, for giving pile number 4s clear, concise, accurate advice, guidance, and wisdom to conclude their reading, Spirit. What does pile number 4s need to know about this autumn equinox? Okay, 3 cards literally just fell out. Oh my goodness. You cannot make this up. Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus, period. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. What did I just say? You're just releasing the negativity and sending whatever is happening, or whoever did it, you're sending the positivity, because you just don't know what else to do at this point. Number 4s. I think that's great though. And it says, don't let your past hold you back, and you're not. You're moving forward. You're like, look, whatever. You're letting bygones be bygones, so to speak, okay? So I love this for you, pile number 4s. And look at that purple amethyst. You are really healing. You have probably just been really using this amethyst crystal to just purge out and heal, right? And look at check this out. God, Spirit, Source, Energy has really been giving you strength, because look at the purpleness of these onions too, or garlic. I'm tripping. I'm talking about onions. Look at the purpleness of these garlics, right? And they're healing you. Like, this garlic energy is healing you. You maybe might even find yourself ingesting a lot of garlic, or it's almost like vampiric energy, right? You're being you're being healed from this vampiric energy, right? That's funny. Okay, well, in any case, oh, hold on. Now look at what was at the bottom of the deck. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. Beautiful. I'm glad we stopped at that note, pile number 4. So with that being said, my lovely dreamers, I love you so much, pile number 4s. If you like this message, if it resonated, please hit that like button, thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends, or anyone who would best benefit from the messages provided here today. Again, my pile number 4s, I love you so much. And until next time, I'll see you in our next reading. Bye.